Sir, let me move to the first question to you. Defense sector reforms and modernization has been a long-standing theme. The Modi government has taken several measures in this direction. From OROP, that is one rank, one pension, which they did after coming to power, to first-paced procurement of arms, threefold increase in defense budget, huge investment both in and outside the budget in creating roads, tunnels, and airport logistics facilities in border areas, Ognipath short service scheme, stress on domestic procurement, corporatization of ordnance factory boards, increase in FDI limit in defense production from defense manufacturing from 49% to 74% are some of them. Having said that, I'm sure that a lot is yet to be done. How much road we traveled in these 10 years and how much is yet to be done? Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Pratim. Extremely relevant question you have posed to me. And I think for the whole nation, it is extremely important to understand what has happened in the last 10 years and what do we see in the next 10 years. Because I don't want to make a roadmap into 2050 or 2060. It is better to divide our roadmaps into decades, because then we can clearly understand and focus. So let's talk about the last 10 years, maybe after the Kargil war, the motion started. 1999, we had the Kargil war. Then we had the Subramaniam Kargil Review Committee, which came out with major recommendations. And today, what we are seeing, some of the defense reforms are the results of those recommendations. To start with, there was a laxity as far as our intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance was concerned. And we then thought that it would be more prudent to have a defense intelligence agency. So this DIA came into being within a couple of years of the Kargil war. Then another organization was extremely relevant, which looked into technology, space, and cyber. And that gave birth to an organization called NTRO. So NTRO has a mix of police as well as army officers as well as scientists. So basically, it was to monitor all kinds of communication in the realms of radio communication and cyber security, etc. So this organization was also very relevant, and it has grown over the years now with very good results also coming in. Then what was lacking? See, when we talk about national security, we have to have three things in mind. First is, what is the equipment which you are having, and how do we maintain that equipment? Second is, what equipment we are lacking, and we would like to get into that defense platforms. We would like to buy those defense platforms. And the third and the most important part is technology. So if you divide the discussion into three parts, that what equipment we are having, are we able to maintain it? Are our processes and procedures viable? I will give you from my personal experience that it took us almost 5 to 7 years to introduce any new equipment into service. And by the time that equipment came to us, the technology had changed. And
this 5 to 7 years you are talking about, is it a general time frame or it was?
No, it was earlier. I was talking of something which was happening earlier. And now I'll come to what are the changes now, or what improvements in this acquisition procedure we have been able to achieve. So what used to happen is that, okay, I require a gun system. I want to actually buy a force gun. It will take me almost 5 to 8 years for that force gun to come into Indian Army. Then it will take another 2 3 years for us to get used to that equipment. There'll be trainings and etc. Everything going on. Then we also have to grapple with the kind of ammunition which will require for that gun system. Can that ammunition be manufactured in the country, or we will have to import the ammunition also? So all these related things almost take us into a decade. So that used to be the state of the armed forces.
And then
So the
then
government,
then scams were a
yes,
regular thing. And then for
and of
20
course
years
those,
you stop
uh,
procurement.
yeah, scams are there. And then you say, okay, now it will not procure things like that. So what the government realized was there needs a change in our thinking, a change in the way we do our acquisition of our defense platforms. So that gave birth to a defense acquisition procedure 2020. So can you imagine how much time had elapsed? 1999 and 2020, we are coming with a defense acquisition procedure almost after 21 years. Now, with this procedure coming into place, what has changed? Uh, Firstly, is that we have a facility of a fast track procurement from government to government. For example, if I need a platform, like in China, I needed a light howitzers. I was able to get this equipment in about 2 to 3 months' time. So now you see the change, 10 years and 3 months, because you introduced a system called fast track procurement, and you gave the powers to the vice chief of the Indian Army up to 2000 crores. So you reduce that red tapeism, the bureaucracy, the procedures, and all those time consuming aspects. And this equipment is already tried and tested. It is a part of the US Army, and it is being used by them in every platform. So there is no need to carry out trials in our own country because it's already tested. But the procedure used to lay down that it will have a test, it will have trials, a pilot sample will be made, and then all the related aspects will be there, and the bureaucracy will keep the file shuttling from one table to another. It used to take almost 2 years to get acceptance of necessity. Can you imagine? Getting an acceptance of necessity used to take almost 2 years. So it was a thing which
First, while
needed
pushing within the defense establishment, then
yes,
between defense and the
a
government,
radical change.
and then
Yes.
the finance ministry comes in and says that no, it is beyond our budget.
Uh, so a radical change was required. So this acquisition procedure 2020 came in, and last week I was delivering a talk in DRDO, and the uh, the managing head of the Defense Technology Department of DRDO gave me a very welcome news. He told me, sir, we are we have already amended also this defense acquisition procedure 2020, when we got a feedback from the environment that it required tweaking at certain places. So what has happened now is the procurement cycle has been cut short. One. Two, the trials and evaluation period, which used to stretch to almost 18 months to 24 months, has been cut down to 3 months. And a chapter on strategic partnerships has been introduced.